My Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. You see what happens when you go on break? Woo, child. It's always something going down in Fairmont Crest, and we got some things to talk about. So let's get to it. This is your Beyond the Gates, episode 41 after show. So we're at Danny's mansion. Chelsea is offering the chief marketing officer position, a very high, prestigious, and very weighty position at a company. Danny said that, she loved the mother-daughter combination, right? But there was another dimension. And so Danny still turns it down. Nicole and Sherry Carter are talking. And Ted and Eva are talking. Ted needs to invite some friends. He'll forget. If he doesn't do it now, he'll forget. Right? And so what ends up happening is that Eva sees Leslie. Now, for those of you who don't remember the last episode, there was a bit of a tussle. And Eva said, get out here before somebody sees you. And so Eva was pissed because she saw her mom. Now, I'm with Eva on this. And there's a section, let me see here. I don't know if it's in this episode per se. Let me see. No. Oh, yes, it is in this episode. Okay, so we'll get to that a little bit later. But in this episode, oh, Lord Jesus, child. I will just say this. Eva's the mother. Leslie's the daughter. Moving on. So after that, Vanessa and Joey are meeting at Uptown. Andre and Jacob are talking at Orphy Jeans. Sherry is leaving town. But Leslie is not. Good Lord Jesus, you fucking trick. So Vanessa and Joe, I cannot stand Leslie's ass. So Vanessa and Joey are talking about the future of what could be. Doug said it's a hard time. Now, Andre wants to follow Doug and his habits, right? To see how, Doug covers, but he was like, hell no. But Andre doesn't know the real reason why, because Doug has a gambling problem. And yeah, you don't want gambling problem to be in a huge documentary. So there's Laurie going around. And Doug wins $50,000. Now, what Doug should have done is take that $50K, go pay Joey off. But then again, Joey would need to be humble, kind and gracious to also stop his habit of being selfish and always wanting more. Lord Jesus, just why? Good Lord Jesus. So Ashley and Derek are in a rough spot for compatibility tests. Danny, now we're back with Danny. Chelsea. Danny spun out when Chelsea told Dan that she did not want to match Chelsea anymore. And Chelsea wants success with her business. And she knows that her mom is the best person to do it. Sherry is saying goodbye, and Eva's trying to stop the spot from being blown up. That's why, Eva tries to, make a fake phone call, this, that, the third. And, it was very close that Ted almost saw Sherry. In the words of Luigi, this was a very tense moment. Yes, indeed it was. So, Eva gets told by Ted, can we get 3 to 4 extra invites? People come out of town all the time. Danny still turned down Chelsea. Doug called Randy that, he wants to flip it. He wants to flip the money that he won. No, I'm sorry. Let me flip it, reverse, rewind it back. Doug can either pay this 50K to Joey or he can flip it and have money left over. What do y'all think Doug did? Now, with you or myself, right? We are smart people, correct? Some more than others out there. Yes, indeed. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must fly. Now, with that being said, what do you think Doug did, ladies and gentlemen? No, no, no. See, if Joey was reasonable, Joey would have a clean $50,000, and Doug would be free of his debt. But because Doug has a habit and because Joey has a habit, these are two addicted people going down to hell together, just utilizing different routes to get there. So we're back with, and so basically Doug bets on a horse. He got like a tip about this horse. That's number 5. Oh, Lord. So then we're with Joey and Vanessa. There is a commercial building at Petworth that is a fixer-upper, but there's some government money that can help. And Joey wants to do a partnership. Joey brings the money. Vanessa brings the expertise. Lord Jesus Christ, Joey. Just... What are you going to do when Vanessa finds out that you're utilizing her firm? And we haven't seen Vanessa and Doug's kids yet, but I think they're grown, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully they have their lives together, because I feel like Joey at this point, he is like a roaring, he's like the devil, a roaring lion seeking who he can devour. And as long as it works out for Joey, he does not care who gets hurt. Just saying, no. Child, I'm judging. I was about to say no judging, but like we all know who Joey Armstrong is at this point, y'all. So with that being said, Chelsea said Danny sounds excited, and Danny said that you will be successful without me, which was very difficult for Danny to do, because Danny is never really that cognizantly aware that other circumstances do matter. But Danny does want Chelsea to be one thing, be Danny's toughest Craig if she gets out of line. I feel like that will be happening sooner rather than later. So then a couple of the compatibility test questions with Ashley and Derek. Raccoon versus skunk, steel versus brick. Streaming versus vinyl for music. So, listen, compatibility tests, it's a hit or miss. Ashley was really, concerned about, well, not concerned, but she was very consumed by it, right? And I'm just like, okay, a test can tell you a lot of things, but what's the work that you're putting in as a couple? That's how I felt about that. Denise is more out of her rabbit ass mind than delusional. I feel like Leslie goes through the 5 stages of grief, but instead of grief, it's just layers of revenge, and she's on her own island at this point. My Lord, child. So then Eva and Nicole are talking. Eva's got to talk to the event planners. And, Ted asks, did Eva have her phone? And then Ted wants to uninvite everyone and just go say words. I personally believe that, yeah, this could have been very well avoided by not you doing the party. And I feel for Eva, because this is not Eva's fault. This is Leslie's fault for trauma dumping and poisoning Eva. Leslie unalived Alan. I'm going to keep saying it until they reveal it, okay? Because Leslie is not all tight up there. I believe Eva is more wound tight than Leslie is. Leslie unalived Alan. Leslie unalived Alan. I said it. I said it. I said it. If she would put potassium in Laura's IV, what makes you think she won't unalive somebody? Not to mention, too, she almost committed attempted murder, rather, on Laura. So miss me. But you know what's crazy, though? Some of you women out there are probably going to defend, Leslie's behavior. Oh, Braylon, you don't know what it's like to be cheated on and da 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 da. Listen, first of all, he or she has to cast the first stone, right? So while you're defending somebody's fictional behavior, would you put up with that behavior in your own life or from anybody that you know? It's interesting how every time I ask that question, none of y'all have an answer. Some of y'all are defending virtual bull-ish that you would never defend in your actual factual spectral life or anybody from your actual factual spectral life. So you can miss me with your shit, okay? What Leslie's been doing has been uncouth, has been unkind, has been unfucking called for. And Eva is caught in the crosshairs unnecessarily. Here's my thing with Leslie. If Leslie wanted revenge, do this shit on your own. Don't screw over your fucking damn child because your inner girl was fucking lost, you bitch. Damn. And listen, I wish Leslie would play this on the damn show. And I want Leslie to be breaking stuff all through the apartment. I can't believe Brayton said this ish about me, and then you ain't gonna do shit. Because quite frankly, if I was on the show, me and Ted would have teamed up and got a couple of women to do a drive-by, handle your fucking ass by now. You wouldn't been able to make it back physically or otherwise, but that's neither here nor there. Roll it out. These are fictional characters. So like I said, if you can't stand up for right in your actual factual smacktual real life, but you're defending virtual bull-ish, miss me with your shit. These are fictional characters. If you're getting upset over someone having an opinion over fictional characters, you are more lost with your faculties of how you are as a person and how you move as a person than you ever came into the world to be. Moving on. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. So Chelsea and Kat are talking on the phone. Chelsea's at Uptown. The couple that Chelsea has played with comes through. Doug calls Randy. Doug calls Randy, and Randy, Randy doesn't take the call. Joey and Vanessa are talking. Danny is excited about the agency. Pamela is worried about all the small details, but there's a brand content shoot with Andre. Then they're talking about how they want to move their agency. Pamela and Danny are talking about that. Doug loses the money. Doug, what you should have did was, listen, find out how much it is, right? And like I said, you should have done speaking engagements. You do an hour at a time, right? You do 10 speaking engagements at what? Let's just say the debt's $1 million, right? And you do what? 10 speaking engagements at like $50,000 a piece. That's $500,000. Then you do that 10 more times. That's $1 million. Right. This could have been also simple by you using your mouth instead of your hands. Good Lord Jesus. So Doug is Vanessa is Joey showing off the property, and Doug is looking at Vanessa and Joey. Excuse me. Nicole was on the phone with someone. I think it was about a patient, if I'm not mistaken. Ted still wants to cancel the party. Ashley has one more question. The best place to be compatible is it's an open-ended question that, well, it's a rhetorical question, and they get it on. Ashley and Derek there. Eva and Leslie talk, and Eva is holding Leslie to an account. And I mean, Eva has that fire to her, and I love it because Leslie's been getting away with too damn much, right? And this is the thing, Leslie. You are so big mad at your daughter for standing up for herself, but yet you still want to utilize her? Where is your mind at? Where is it? Where is your mind at? Where is it? Where is your mind at? Where is it? Shout out to Nene Leaks. So then Chelsea and the couple are leaving. Doug and Vanessa get it on. So do Ashley and Derek. Pamela said that, Danny needed her fire back, and Andre and they connected. And then, I think it's Nicole and Ted do a champagne toast. This was a good episode. This was a very good episode. I like the fact that we got to see, Danny make a decision while it was difficult for her was the best decision, because Chelsea really wanted to be free. But also, too, Chelsea still being that good daughter. You know what I mean? So I thought that was very sweet. Doug, I feel like, bro, you are you're trying to save yourself now, but it's a little too late. But I'm hoping that maybe, a friend of yours can come in and pay off Joey, or maybe Joey has an adversary that, listen, he will pay off Joey, but you got to do something for him, get that person in position, and then that Joey's enemy and Joey have to finish out, and then you are home free. You understand? That's what I'm hoping for. Ted, I got a feeling that this anniversary party should be canceled. I know you tried to cancel it, bro. You should have told Nicole that night when you yelled at her from Andre, because what y'all could have done was came up with a game plan, right? And child, in the next episode, we'll talk about Cat, because oh my God, I cannot stand Cat. I just cannot stand Cat. I just cannot stand Cat. Good Lord Jesus, is that everything? I think it is. And and not to mention too, I think Chelsea kind of wants anonymity, because she really seems to be in threesomes a lot. But if Chelsea was Chelsea Dupree Lee, by the way, y'all, Chelsea Dupree stands for CDL, Chelsea Dupree Lee, CDL. Child, let me tell you, Chelsea got a figure on her that's like an 18-wheeler. I just want her to just crash back into me. But that's neither here nor there. With that being said, y'all, I gotta go. That's it for your Beyond the Game. Episode 41 after show, everybody. One love, much love, all love. I feel love, and send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.